A very good morning to 12th class student. Today we are going to start the last topic of this chapter, that is ether. First method is from alcohol by dehydration, which you have already studied in alcohol chapter. Alcohol on catalytic dehydration. Catalyst here is sulfuric acid. At 413 Kelvin temperature, it gives us ether. The mechanism for this reaction is, first is protonation of alcohol. Sulfuric acid gives H ion. These H ions are accepted by alcohol due to presence of these lone pair of electron on oxygen atom. That's why it form protonated alcohol. Oxygen never form 3 bond, but here it form 3 bond. That's why oxygen carry positive charge. Second step is nucleophilic attack of alcohol and we get protonated ether. See here, this is your another molecule of alcohol. Due to presence of these lone pair of electron, it attack at carbon and water molecule release and we get protonated ether. This is your protonated ether. Third step is deprotonation of ether. Here we get protonated ether, then H ion release and these bonded electrons shifted over oxygen to neutralize the positive charge and we get ether. It is used for ether having primary R group. It is used for preparation of that type of ether where we have primary R group. If R group is secondary and tertiary, then alkene formed. If we have R group is secondary and tertiary, then alkenes are formed. Next is Williamson synthesis process. For symmetrical and unsymmetrical ether, this method is used. Here we treat alkyl halide with sodium ethoxide ion. First of all, we take alcohol. On reaction with sodium metal, it forms sodium ethoxide. On reaction with alkyl halide, this alkoxide ion act as a nucleophile, act at carbon and halogen get released and we get ether and sodium chloride. Secondary and tertiary ether can be prepared by this method. From alcohol in the presence of sulfuric acid, we can prepare only primary ether, but by Williamson synthesis process where we treat alkyl halide with sodium alkoxide ion and we get ethers. By this method, we can prepare primary, secondary and tertiary ethers. In tertiary ether, we always use tertiary alkoxide and primary halide and undergo SN2 mechanism. See here, in this reaction, first of all, we use tertiary alkoxide and primary halide, and tertiary alkoxide ion attack here and halogen get removed. This is SN2 mechanism. Here both step, attack of nucleophile as well as release of leaving group, both take place simultaneously. This is called methyl tertiary butyl ether. For preparation of tertiary ether, we always use tertiary alkoxide and primary halide. But if we use tertiary halide and primary alkoxide, then what will happen? Then it undergo elimination reaction and we get alkene and sodium chloride and methyl alcohol as a product. So why this reaction take place? Because it is a strong base, it cause elimination reaction by taking H and release of halogen. So if we use tertiary alkoxide and primary halide, then we get tertiary ether. But if we use tertiary halide and primary alkoxide, then tertiary halide undergo elimination and we get alkene, sodium chloride and alcohol. So these are the two ways by which you can prepare aliphatic ethers. First one is catalytic dehydration of sulfuric acid and second one is Williamson synthesis. Next is aromatic ether. Aromatic ether is in which there is benzene attached with oxygen and R group. Aromatic ether, we always use sodium phenoxide ion. Here we use sodium phenoxide ion. It is prepared by treating phenol which is acidic in nature with NaOH, and we get sodium phenoxide, and then sodium phenoxide ion on treatment with alkyl halide according to requirement of ether. For example, here negative charge comes on oxygen and positive charge comes on sodium, and this attack, nucleophilic attack, will take place and we get methyl phenyl ether, that is also known as anisole and NaCl. When we treat sodium phenoxide ion with ethyl chloride, we get phenitol, that is called, here again same attack of oxygen on carbon and halogen get removed. This we get phenitol. This is the way by which you can prepare aromatic ether. First we prepare sodium phenoxide ion, that is prepared by treatment of phenol with NaOH. Phenol is acidic and NaOH is base, then they give salt, and then on reaction with alkyl halide we get sodium, then we get sodium chloride and ether according to alkyl group, anisole or phenitol. Next is the physical properties of ethers. Physical properties, they are slightly polar, so boiling point is higher than alkane. Solubility, due to formation of small amount of hydrogen bonding, lower ethers are soluble in water. Now comes to very important concept, that is chemical properties. Chemical properties of ether is due to lone pair of electron that is present on oxygen atom. So ether act as Lewis base and it react with acid and form salt. For example, here is a ether act as a base, it accept H ion and form protonated ether, and Cl attach here due to formation of, this is called complex. See, again it react with sulfuric acid and form this complex, that is H ion accepted by ether and it get protonated ether and then react with sulfate ion. So this is called, this is due to presence of lone pair of reaction. This is the chemical property of ether. Due to presence of lone pair of electron, it form complex with on reaction with acids. So due to presence of lone pair of electron, ether act as a base and it take acid and form salt. These are the salt. Now, due to presence of lone pair of electron, ether also act as Lewis base. First they act as base due to presence of lone pair of electron, that's why they react with acid and form salt, acid base salt, that is formed in previous reaction. Second, ether also act as Lewis base and it form coordinate bond or coordinate complex with Lewis acid. See here that it is a Grignard reagent, that is called RMGX, and boron trifluoride. It is electron deficient species because here boron form 3 bonds, so its outermost shell after forming bond has 6 electron, but according to Octet rule कितने होने चाहिए, 8 होने चाहिए. तो इसके पास इलेक्ट्रॉनों की डेफिशिएंसी है, so it act as a Lewis acid, electron deficient species. It also act as electron deficient species. So Grignard reagent form coordinate bond with this Lewis acid due to presence of lone pair of electrons. See here 2 molecules of ether attach with Grignard reagent in this manner by forming coordinate bond. Here ether form coordinate bond with boron trifluoride, so its outermost shell also completed because these 2 electrons shared by now boron trifluoride. So Lewis base, the ether act as a Lewis base and form coordinate complexes with electron deficient species, that is called Lewis acid. And second, Ether, due to presence of lone pair of electron, act as base and it react with acid and form salt. Next is the second point is the cleavage of CO bond. Here that ether CO bond get undergo cleavage. First, where lone pair of electron of the ether undergo reaction. Here CO bond undergo cleavage. First reaction with halogen acids. Halogen acid always join with lowers R group in aliphatic ether. Halogen. When ether react with halogen acid, then halogen part of the halogen acid goes with small R group and form alkyl halide, and H part goes with big R group oxygen and H. ठीक है, that's why it form alcohol. Tertiary ether. In tertiary ether we always get tertiary halide. In aromatic ether we always get phenol. These are the main 3 points which we always remember during cleavage of this CO bond with halogen acid. First, that halogen part of the halogen acid combine with small r group and it form alkyl halide, small r alkyl halide and big R alcohol. Second part, tertiary. In tertiary ether halogen always get attached with tertiary halide, with tertiary R group and form tertiary halide. In aromatic ether we always get phenol. Now see here one by one these reactions. This is your ethyl methyl ether. Here ethyl part is big R group and methyl is small r group, so halogen attach with small r group and big R group form alcohol. So here we get methyl iodide and ethyl alcohol. This is the reaction. How this reaction will take place? First, halogen acid gave H ion form protonated ether. Then there is equal chance for iodide to attack here as well as attack here. But here due to steric hindrance it attack always here, and these bonded electrons shifted over oxygen and we get alcohol and alkyl halide. But when we study the reaction of tertiary ether, then always remember first it form protonated ether. Then due to steric hindrance this bond get cleavage. There are 2 chances that this bond may shift over oxygen and this bond may shift over oxygen. When this bond shifted over oxygen to release methyl alcohol, then tertiary cation get formed. If this bond electron shift over oxygen and then methyl cation will form. Tertiary cation is more stable, that's why tertiary cation formed, and then it react with halogen and form tertiary halide. Then it react with halide ion and form tertiary halide. So tertiary ether always react with halogen acid and form tertiary halide because of stability of tertiary cation. In case of aromatic ether, first it undergo protonation, we get protonated ether. Then this bond will not break due to resonance, it shows some double bond characters, so this bond get break and we get ethyl iodide and phenol. So these are the main product. In aromatic ether we always get phenol as well as alkyl halide. Next is, these are the important reactions. Next is electrophilic substitution reaction. In aromatic ethers undergo electrophilic substitution reaction because like phenol, due to resonance they show negative charge at ortho and para position. That's why electrophile can easily attack at ortho and para position. So because of negative charge, due to resonance negative charge comes at ortho and para position, and electrophile easily attack at ortho and para position. Like halogenation, this is your anisole on reaction with bromine. In ethanoic acid we get orthobromo anisole and parabromo anisole. Friedel-Crafts alkylation, here anisole on reaction with methyl chloride in the presence of anhydrous aluminium chloride, we get orthomethyl anisole and paramethyl anisole. Here attacking species is methyl cation. Here is bromine cation, bromine ion, bromine positive charge ion. Friedel-Crafts acylation, that is take place in the presence of acid chloride. In the presence of anhydrous AlCl3, we get 2-methoxy acetophenone. This is your acetophenone and this is your 2-methoxy, or this is another is 4-methoxy acetophenone. These are the product which we obtain. Then next reaction is nitration. Anisole undergo nitration in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid in the presence of नाइट्रिक एसिड. नाइट्रिक एसिड के साथ आप रिएक्ट कराओगे इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ कंसनट्रेटेड सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड. हियर अटैकिंग स्पीशीज इज नाइट्रोनियम आयन एंड वी गेट ऑर्थो नाइट्रो एनिसोल एंड पैरा नाइट्रो एनिसोल. सो दीज आर द सम electrophilic substitution reaction which is shown by aromatic ethers. So these are the very important reactions which are shown by aromatic ether. Next is very important concept that ether always stored in the presence of in brown bottle. Why we store ether in brown bottle? Because ether undergo oxidation and ether form ether hydroperoxide. That is a highly explosive material. So first of all, before use of old sample of ether, first we check the presence of ether hydroperoxide chemical in ether which is formed due to oxidation. That's why first we store ether in brown colored bottle, because in the presence of air, in the presence of sunlight, ether undergo oxidation. Now question arises कि how we can convert ether hydroperoxide back to ether. This take place by reduction, and this reduction take place when we add some ferrous sulfate in ether and shake it. When we add ferrous sulfate in ether hydroperoxide, then what will happen? Then ferrous undergo oxidation into ferric sulfate and the ether hydroperoxide get reduced to ether, and then it is safe to use. So these are some important reactions which we discussed in this ether chapter. One is more, that is halogenation of ether. Halogenation, in the presence of sunlight, all ether hydrogens get replaced by halogen. For example, if we react ethoxyethane with chlorine in the presence of sunlight, then all hydrogens of ether, there 10 hydrogens are present, they are get replaced by all halogens. So all hydrogen of ether, ethoxyethane, get replaced by halogen chlorine. But if reaction take place in dark, on one time one alpha hydrogen get replaced by halogen, then beta, then if all alpha hydrogen get replaced, then beta hydrogen get replaced by halogen chlorine in the absence of light or in the dark. So this reaction is very slow. So if we want to do chlorination of ether in the presence of sunlight, then all hydrogen get replaced in one time. But if we do the same reaction in dark, then first all alpha hydrogen get replaced by halogen, then beta carbon halogens are replaced by halogen. What is alpha and beta? The ether functional group is oxygen. Next carbon to oxygen is called alpha, and second one carbon is called beta carbon. So this is all about your ether. And one important question which may be asked in exams, why ether is an inert solvent? Because ether do not react easily. That's why ether act as a inert solvent, or it is a good solvent because it do not take part in chemical reactions. Second one, ether act as a solvent in Grignard reagent or Grignard reagent reactions, because Grignard reagents are soluble in ether because they form coordinate bond with ether, because Grignard reagent is a Lewis acid and ether is a Lewis base due to presence of lone pair of electron, so they form coordinate bond with Grignard reagent. So this is all about your ether. Please do practice of all NCERT question that is given in your book. This is all about your ether. If you have any problem, please contact me. Thank you. Have a nice day.